What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Spectre9781 here, coming at you with another video. This time I'm going to be discussing my history with Nintendo. So, as you can tell, big fan of Nintendo. Wearing a Zelda shirt. So, basically, my history with Nintendo begins when I was about 4 years old. I remember my cousin, one of my cousins at least, had a Super Nintendo, and I was curious about it, and he popped in a game. It was Donkey Kong Country. Turned it on, gave me the controller, and said, tell me how to play Donkey Kong Country. It's great. Well, that was my first exposure to Nintendo, and I was just amazed. Now, fast forward, maybe a week, 2 weeks later. I don't know, I was 4 at the time. My dad gets me the game Super Mario All-Stars. Super Mario All-Stars, for those of you who don't know, probably like all 4 people. It's basically a game where it has 4 Mario games on it. Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2 USA, Super Mario Brothers 3, and Super Mario Brothers The Lost Levels, aka Super Mario Brothers 2. The original Super Mario Brothers 2. Now, this was maybe around the time let's see, it's not around the time the GameCube came out. It was maybe, let's see, yeah, it was about a year before the GameCube came out. So, maybe about 2005, maybe, I got my GameCube. A game that my dad bought for it was Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. That was my first exposure to Zelda. And then there was Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. There was Luigi's Mansion, which I played a lot of Luigi's Mansion. It scared the shit out of me, but I was a kid at the time, okay? But, getting back to Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, I just remember, so we lived on a base at the time, military housing, and I remember just sitting in the living room watching my dad play this game. I remember me specifically asking, what does it say, what does it say, what does it say? I was in that phase. I just started talking, I think I just started talking. About maybe a year ago, I started talking when I was 4. Autism, cerebral palsy, stuff like that. Anyway, so fast forward 2006. 2006. It's Christmas morning. Parents say, "Alright, it's your first big gift from us." So, and I noticed it's like this big box. I open it, it's a Nintendo Wii. And along with it, I got the Wii Sports and Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess, my dad again was the one who actually played it. But I was fine with having the Wii, and my dad didn't get rid of the GameCube, but I was fine with having the Wii because I could play my GameCube games on it. Until about 2 years later when Smash Brothers came out and we discovered, oh, hey, the Wii is kind of fucking broken. So, we had to buy a new Wii that was blue and it had the GameCube component to it, so, yeah, that sucks. I still have that blue game, I still have that blue Wii. So, basically, you guys get the gist. I played Super Smash Bros. Melee on the GameCube and Super Smash Bros. Brawl, yada yada yada. But fast forward to, I used to think Nintendo was great. I used to think Nintendo was pretty much the only video game company that made video games, because those were the only games I was really, you know, actually, I was like thinking like Nintendo was the only one who made good video games, right? Because, we just being exposed to GameCube games, and I knew there were some good games on PS2, but, of course I wasn't exposed to like any of the exclusives, except for Ratchet and Clank and stuff like that. Now, fast forward to now. What do I think of Nintendo now? Well, here's what I think. Nintendo has grown out of touch with gamers and consumers. What do gamers like us want from a next-gen console or from a video game period? What we want from a console is the ability to have voice chat, Netflix, streaming services, stuff like that. We want high resolution. We want good graphics. Maybe 1080p graphics, right? Well, 60 frames per second, right? And we want games that for everybody. Not just E for everyone, but we want E, we want E, T, and M. Those are the kind of games we want. Nintendo, they're just making ports right now. They're not making any efforts to make any M-rated licensed games. And they're refusing to evolve with the industry as a whole. What do we do now? We live stream. We make reviews. We do Let's Plays. Stuff like that. Well, what Nintendo's doing is it's living in the 1990s where they're afraid that everyone's after their intellectual property. Have you seen how many fan games they've taken down? Like, you saw what happened to, the ROM sites. One of the best ROM sites. The only one that didn't have, like, malware, right? And keep in mind, I don't use ROMs. But I do get why people did. Because I do get why people do, and I do get why people did. And I don't agree with Nintendo's actions on it, because while they do have the right to protect their intellectual property, the fans do have the right to preserve the intellectual property, because Nintendo doesn't make their games easily accessible. They're older games. Not every game's remastered. Every game that people like is either on the NES or SNES and 64. We can't get access to those games unless you buy the SNES Classic or NES Classic that has 30 popular games each on each of these systems. The most popular games. Not games like Lion King, Aladdin, Captain Commando, Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3, or, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, blah, 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 right? Basically, any game that the Angry Video Game Nerd has reviewed, it's not on the NES Classic or SNES Classic. Now, I'm sorry for this video being long, but this is my point. Nintendo, you either evolve with the consumer and the gaming industry as a whole, or you go under. That's not a threat, that is a promise. Your business practices are shit. Okay, your business practices are shit. You're going after your fans who like to preserve games and make games that are, pay homage to you. And quite frankly, that's a scummy move on your part. Instead of hiring these fans who want to become developers themselves, you take away their year or 2 years of hard work just because you want to cry in a corner about your intellectual property. This isn't the 1980s or 90s anymore. This is 2018, where the gaming industry allows us to live stream, make videos, and criticize games constructively. And the way you're handling things and the way you're condensing data down. This is what I mean, right? You know how the PS4 that I have right there, 500 gigabytes, it's 500 gigabytes right off the bat. Nintendo uses, I don't know, maybe 50 gigabytes. Yeah. That's about the size of a normal PS4 game. Yeah. So you can't save a whopping nothing on that. And, like, you could fill up the Nintendo Switch within just 7 or 8 games. And the fact that they're still using AC adapters, you know, the big plugins that, you know, nobody uses anymore. They just use stuff like my iPhone and iPad charger. You know, why can't you use that? And the fact that you can't make LAN parties in Splatoon, your most popular game, on the Switch. It's just, you know, it's bullshit to me. Well, I think I went on long enough, but anyway, comment down below, let me know what you think, and please feel free to like, share, subscribe. Just feel free. You know, this is a channel just dedicated to entertaining people and just talking about subjects that come to my mind. I'll see you guys in the next video.